Hello everybody, this is Legendary Boogie Night and I'm playing Home today. It's a 8-bit survival horror from what I understand, and I don't know if this is everybody's cup of tea, but it looked interesting and I don't think I've seen anybody play it. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in and hopefully everybody enjoys it. So let's do this. It's time to boogie, I guess. Your game will be saved automatically at certain points. However, we recommend you put aside an hour and a half and complete Home in a single setting. Okay, so this isn't going to be all that long. All I remember at that point was finding myself alone. Oh my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Okay, those are some loud shoes. That house. Where was I? There was a body laying on the floor. Who was it? What the hell? That was loud as hell in my headphones. What is that, penis? It's a giant dildo. God, somebody's into some kinky shit. Here, let's see what's over here before we go into the basement. Let's try this door. The desk had a computer and some papers on it and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but I did. Did I open the drawer? That was weird how they placed that. But did I open the drawer? It's weird. Yeah. Let's open that damn drawer. Receipts, pens, and a blurry photo. Look like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? Maybe this is your house? Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of here. Wait, what? Oh, you can maneuver the light. Okay. Almost like he fell down the steps. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. Obviously you came home and found Rachel fucking somebody else and killed her. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. Maybe you're the owner of the house, bro. The hell? No. Let's go over here first. Fucketh that. A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yep. Another dildo. A collection of rusty tools. These look like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? Well, okay. I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it'd been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? I pressed it smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Alright. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. So they had dinner. A black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? Yes. I seem to say yes to a lot of shit. I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Gloom clomp, gloom clomp, gloom clomp. Ah! I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. The hell was that? Why is everything so loud? The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it right. I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. Well, let's not go down there yet. What? That is open now. What? Let's explore over here first, I guess. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. The bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wonder if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning or him. There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops? God damn it. There was a sheet of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Keycard, locker, last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. The hell is that? Is that the mouse? Another mouse. Cause and effect. Yeah, I guess so. There was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down? Well, yeah, I go. God damn! I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints in the dirt looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. So, someone coming in and out a lot. Places all over were marked on the old map of the town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town all over the last few years. Wait, there were photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I don't hate guns, I love them. I did take it, did I? Yeah. I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. You're damn right. Feel that power in your pants, boy. Maybe I should go upstairs. Maybe I was trying to... never mind. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Some kind of handmade rack slung together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible. Notes were written beside them in a faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. Have they... None of it made any sense to me. Oh, it's just a sex dungeon. Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. So not lubricant. Alright. Maybe some really kinky sex dungeon? It looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. Sex dungeon. Like I said. The door over here. More sex dungeon. Fucked to death. That's all that happened. There looked to be bones, half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? Well, that's why we have safe words. There, buddy. Safe words. Ah! Man, he falls down a lot of ladders. Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered, throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing here? There wasn't anyone there. Was I hearing things? Either Transformers are having a gunfight or those are birds. Bats. Bats. Huh. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. Can I look past it? Yeah, okay. There was rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yes, you did. Because you're in a sex dungeon. You never know when you need rope for the sex dungeon. Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. What? Okay. I had the rope now. There must have been a use for it around here somewhere. I don't know if anybody can hear that, but there's a train going by, so forgive that. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yes. Yes, you climbed down. I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. Alright. A bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out, danger due to cave-in. Okay. Alright. I could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? I don't know, that reads weird. Let me do that again. If I could have, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a awful place? If it reads weird, that reads really weird. At least I thought I had found that old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. Well, I guess he's been shooting motherfuckers. So there's dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Ooh. Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? Yes. I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyway. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? A kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it, made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Sure. I'm saying yes to everything so far. I slipped the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? Yes. The door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. The hell was that noise? I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. How the hell you know it's a regulator? I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn them? No. I left the valve alone. Let's figure out what that's for first. A lot of valves here. Maybe that's to open that. Alright, let's it's got a 2 on it. 3 or 4. Oh, I see now. Okay. Let's see what I must do. Alright. Didn't notice the diagrams on the wall before, and that one's good. So, do you open now? No. I definitely did something though. I'm not exactly sure what it did though. I'll try to find that regulator again, and maybe it'll tell me what the hell I did. I see handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in those sewers. Huh. Guess I use the exit now. Turning those valves must have drained the water that was in this room. There was a ladder I could reach. Huh. Looked like the water drained out of that gate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in the shadow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? I pocketed the small key, but it was too odd shaped. I had no idea what it might be, what it might open. Well, let's see if that'll open that door upstairs. No, doesn't open this. Oh, there's a musty smell from inside. Yeah, no, it doesn't open that. The safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? As the door was locked, I could see a faint light within. I can't use the key. No. Alright, well. I probably shouldn't just... Nah, fuck it. Let's see. Oh, it's a security camera. There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. Alright. Alright. I found another dead body. A sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. Yes. I thought about the knife I had found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. There's a lot of blood on the floor. Can I open up an inventory or anything? No. No inventory. Oh. I should see if this opens this door down here. Let's unlock the door. Oh, yeah. The shelf was full of security tapes. Was strictly organized, though covered in dust. Looked like the tape I found was the one that was missing from the shelf. Alright. There was a dusty VCR on the security desk. I wondered what was on the VHS tape I found. Did I play the tape? Yes. Oh no, the video showed a man right there in the sewers being attacked. The tape looked fuzzy and stretched, like somebody had tampered with it. It looked like there could have been two men? Two men. Huh. That's... kind of blowing a hole. Well, maybe I was one of the guys. Let's see if, we can get in this door now that we have this extra key ring. I tried a bunch of the keys on the key ring I had found on the sewer worker, and one of them seemed to fit. Yes! No! A collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. Killer. The wall was littered with dozens of old faded papers. Whoever did this was obsessed with some local murders. According to some of the clippings, bodies had been found in ravines in the forest, and in one case dumped in the back of an abandoned truck. I couldn't be sure, but I thought some of those same articles had also been posted up back in those tunnels. A faded receipt was half trampled on the floor. It was from the local train station and was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be, but did I keep the receipt? Yes. I neatly folded this old receipt and slipped into my front pocket. It seems like, I don't know, everything's of use. I mean, everything. I don't mean to just keep saying it. To shit. But that scared the hell out of me. I don't keep ready to say yes to stuff, but it seems like I have to say yes to everything. Well, I need that gun or that knife before the end both weighed me down and aggravated my leg as I climbed the old ladder. The thought of that videotape still gave me chills. Who was it that didn't want to be seen? It was the same person that hid all those clippings anyway. Clippings away in the locked room. Suddenly, the awful smell of that sewer gave way to a pine-scented blast of fresh air. I knew I was saying that. It's a fucking something out there. What the hell is that? Oh no. Oh no. What the hell is trying to kill me? So obviously that's where it came out of, so. There's something in the background that's freaky as hell. An old ladder leading up to an ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Yeah. I popped the latch and brought the ladder down. Alright. I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit and I heaved open the rusty gate. The moon was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. I don't know why I stuttered when I said that. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. However, was poking around in the tunnels underneath that man's house, had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rust was too faded to see clearly. Oh, what's that in the background? Alright, so obviously there's a couple of ways I could go. I think I'm gonna go up that water tower really quick and then, I don't know, see what's up there. And this is the part where I jump off, right? That's scratch marks? In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? Yeah. I slid the filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any kind of gun permit. In fact, it didn't contain any cards or ID of any kind. I thought I should recover my credit card and driver's license at least. From the railing, I could see over the woods and down into the entrance of the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. But why are you worried about somebody seeing you, bro? Do I want to go through here or? What the hell? The old train station was quiet and as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting and the script structure. What the? What kind of fucking train station is that? Let's go this way for a second. An old picnic table sat lonely amongst the trees. It had carvings and marks from years of previous campers. As I tried to read some of the names and the marks, I idly thumbed the knife that I had found. If I wanted to, I could have carved something on that table. Did I? With a few crude strokes, I etched a simple design into the wood. RH. I felt like a teenager defacing the table. I guess him and his wife. The path ended at a cold-looking river. I wasn't sure if it was safe to cross like this. Did I cross? No. In the darkness, I didn't seem wise to try. Maybe there was another option. I wonder if he's wearing an ascot. That's what it kind of looks like under his jacket. Littering, trampled into the dirt and grass, was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take the credit card back? Yeah. I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully, I could find my driver's license too. What the fuck is all your shit thrown all around the woods? Through the fence, I could see a depleted outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. Depleted outhouse, like a shitter. There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. So somebody was out here recently. 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There was a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. Okay. I felt like if I kept rooting through the campsite, someone would walk in on me. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Is this where I came in at? Oh, okay, there's a couple. Somebody running from me? There was a personal effect shoved into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read? Yeah. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after warm page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newest page contained several names: Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, and Rachel. Rachel? Her name was last on the list, and it had a mark beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks looked older and more faded. Who were all those names? I could only think about how much I needed to get home to make sure Rachel was okay. There's a light here. Did I get on? I think this is the outhouse. Yep, it's the shitter. Ah, I'm back outside. Oh my god, I was too close to the door. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. There was a damp-smelling plank leaning against the wall, the stall door. I might have been able to cross the river with it. Did I take it? Hell yeah. I managed to carry the plank under my arm so it didn't get in the way. Alright. The stall was covered in dirt and filth. This washroom obviously hadn't been cleaned in a while. I guess I have to go to that train station too, you know? So where does this lead me to? And let's go back. Take a look over here. Oh, the sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I'd never want to return there. Alright, let's go back. There's a couple things that have to be done before I leave. Oh, I think this is the middle one. Alright. Go to this train station. See what's up here. An old map and case and glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in the house tunnels had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower and even this train yard. What was he doing coming back here? Outside again. The old train was ripped open and hanging from a shred of metal, as well as the broken fence was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train's shell, I could see a few faint impacts, like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. I realized I was touching the gun I had found as I thought, Kinda happy you got that gun now, ain't you? Mm-hmm. Or is it reminding you of something you did, you dirty boy? An old ticket booth that looked fairly ruined. Inside the ticket window were sheets of paper and, wait, what were these? Train receipts? I thought the receipt I had picked up might match these, but of course not. This station had been closed for years. The ticket must have been from the newer station that opened up on the other side of town after this one was abandoned. However, I noticed a series of fresher looking paper covered in tiny notes, scribbled, and diagrams. Escape route. Okay. The plank I found was long enough to form a crude bridge, but I wasn't sure if it would hold. Two bodies, two young women were half dug into the hasty, shallow grave between the trees. The younger looking one was still face up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. They deserve better than that. Did I clean up the gravesite? That's interesting because if I bury them, then I'm kind of covering this bodies, but if I don't, then yeah. I tried to cover them up a bit more, and I closed the younger woman's eyes. I fashioned a crude marker. I wasn't sure why, but I felt I had to do something. The girls weren't carrying IDs, so I couldn't determine their names. I only hoped that whoever had done this had done it quickly. I wondered now if they had a phone or something at their campsite. Maybe I could call for help. Okay, so go back to the campsite, because obviously that was their... Did I cross back on it? Yes. Because obviously that campsite was where they were camping. So if I go back to the campsite, maybe there's a phone. Is it this one? Wait, what's over here? Okay, that's the outhouse. Oh yeah, it's a campsite. Inside of the tent was suffocating. Inside of that tent was suffocating, okay. So let's go over here. That's where I found the stuff at. This was a campsite, so... So this was the bathroom. And I came out of this one, so... This was the way out. Okay. Yay! The forest started to thin out a bit. And though the trees, through the trees, I could make out parts of the town beyond, and the first hints of light. The mysteries of that forest were behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I had found, someone had taken them from their campsite and had murdered them. Was it the same person who had left the odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and to find a way to reach Rachel. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto part factory where I had worked as a mechanic for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Oh, there's a door. A lot of chain link. Oh. Alright. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. What is this? There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, sneaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box and beside it. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was posted to the front of that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." It just falls down the steps. Every part of the plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellow clippings of newspapers, cartoons, and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked there. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. So I take it you do, Norman. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes, you did. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. Was that your locker? A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Okay. So I see what I gotta do. I sees what I got to do. Yes. Sees what me own eyes what I have to do. It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side. So obviously I gotta get the power back on so I can use the card reader. And I must have to find a card. Oh, that's loud. Let's see a table. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Alright. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I didn't remember him doing that when he worked here. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the claw hammer? Yes. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Oh, shit. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take it? Yes. I slipped the card into my pocket. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the button? Alright. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Huh. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Another panel that I hope could help me get... Yeah. Alright, so now we have power. And I can use the card reader downstairs. The key card I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the key card? Yes. I slid the card through the old reader and turned the handle. There was some kind of ventilation hatch here. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? What room is that, though? No. If I was too chicken to jump down the broken ladder before, why do it now? There had to be another way. Yeah, I got the power back on. Oh, Alright. It's some kind of relationship. Blah, blah, blah. Damn it. Yes. Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. I totally fucked myself up. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was need to. Just don't drinking needed to. Norman. Who is Norman writing to? I looked around at the darkened trees and damp, hard packed dirt outside the factory walls. It wasn't entirely familiar with the path before me, but I knew it was a long walk home. For some reason, I felt a hint of regret at leaving the place, but I knew I had to get home to Rachel. I thought I'd try to make it back to the main road and find my way home from there. God damn it. Okay, somebody's following me. Damn it! I didn't get to go to that other... Wow. I'm gonna go to the factory. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yeah. I cleaned the card off as best as I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card and now this. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. It sounded like it was going to start raining again. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Oh. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Oh shit. Oh shit. Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back into the cabinet? I carefully pushed the piece back in place and felt a great burden lifted. A close call.